El Dorado Hills Community Services District is a form of government, a local agency with 5 elected board members, serving a population of over 50,000 residents in the community of El Dorado Hills, which is not incorporated, it's not a city. My name's Kevin Loewen. I'm the general manager for the El Dorado Hills Community Services District. I've been in this role for approximately 7 years as the general manager. People look to the Community Services District for city-like services. Over 500 acres of parks and open space, recreation facilities that we provide to this community of over 50,000. And we're only growing. So we have a parks superintendent, and his name is Ryan Kukkola.
Last week was actually my 20 years here. Started out back in 2003 as a part-time employee. Got brought as a supervisor back in 2016 and moved into a superintendent role. So it's what I enjoy doing. Parks and Rec is not only a fun thing to do, but it's a rewarding thing to do.
A good approximation would be 15 of the 30 to 32 full-time staff that we have a direct involvement in our ADA compliance program. Biggest challenges and problems were inherited. There wasn't a program or practice in place. There may have been some sense of intent to comply in terms of ADA accessibility, but with no program in place, no protocols, no policies, no assessment of what we have and where we're going, it's starting from ground zero.
I think ADA compliance is a difficult thing to fully understand. We know that we have to have automatic door openers for our doors, which we have. We know that we have to have our sink height at the ADA compliance level. But when it gets into the granular things, it could be as simple as an ADA parking sign, minimum $250 fine, that's not at the proper level. Little things like that. There's so much detail.
In terms of how the district was handling accessibility challenges, it could be best described as knee-jerk or triage. We get a call in, a write-in complaint, we would fix the most immediate problem. And there was an intent, a spirit of we need to do better. The problem goes back to not having a foundational program or assessment of our facilities and assets. However it came about, coming across BlueDAG, it was quite serendipitous. A big draw for the BlueDAG Way was that it seemed to be a holistic system. It wasn't merely hiring a consultant to come out and create a document. It's something that's going to live on and keep us current. It's going to facilitate a program beyond the lifespan and tenure of staff, which may come and go. And that's really one of the selling points, probably the main selling point. This seemed to be our best option, and we did review a number of options. One of the most apparent and immediate benefits is that enhancement to our own internal culture. Once you actually make a commitment and move on those commitments internally, your staff see that we are meeting our mission by enhancing the quality of lives of our residents in a meaningful way. That was an immediate positive improvement from starting this program that I identified right away. That sense of positivity about doing something, not only that feels right, that is right.
It's been eye-opening, enlightening to really see how much is involved in ADA compliance. When we spent one of the initial trainings in one of our restrooms in our pavilion building, we had to be in that restroom for 45 minutes, looking at anything and everything that existed in that restroom to make sure that there wasn't one barrier. It's just amazing that it's not just the counter height; it's the paper towel holder, it's the soap dispenser, it's all these things that if you are restricted in your mobility and you're in a chair, you need to be able to reach these things. To see what BlueDAG has provided us, to be able to walk us through, be just a call away, to be able to answer any questions that we have been invaluable to the district.
I always knew that ADA compliance, there was a technical aspect to it. There's a lot of, let's say, nuance, a lot of numbers and or calculations. And how could one inspector or even a small team of inspectors embody all of that knowledge? I was impressed with how BlueDAG can package up all that information, all the different iterations of ADA compliance, and bring that to bear in a program where we can get guidance from it in a step-by-step way so we can pursue compliance.
To be able to not exclude one person in this world, we want our programs and our parks and facilities to be open to all. And to be open to all, they have to be accessible to all.
The BlueDAG Way, it's become a part of our culture and our practice to ensure that we are providing accessible, safe spaces for all ages and stages of life.
What I've learned from this really is we can't just take the consultant or the landscape architect's opinion on ADA compliance. We need to do our own due diligence. Trent was one of the ones that on the initial training, I remember he said, if you have a new property, brand new park, you probably have at least, I think he said, 10 violations for compliance. And it's not neglect on the contractor's part that built the park, it's their lack of knowledge when it comes to ADA accessibility.
This isn't a set it and forget it way of doing things. There's also ongoing education of your new team members, bringing them into the fold of what we do and how we do it in terms of ADA accessibility and the BlueDAG Way and the way we do things. My experience in working with BlueDAG, the representatives, the staff, they provided a concierge level of service in getting this program off the ground. They have a level of technical expertise on their team that's just so awesome. They're able to ratchet that back and talk at our language and never make the team feel like they were a lesser of a person in any way. And when you come across a service provider that goes beyond that level of being a service provider or a contractor, and really they become a partner, it's great.
Flexibility on BlueDAG's end has been great. There's so much to this. To be able to know everything off the top of your mind is nearly impossible. But to be able to have the playbook essentially to be successful is what BlueDAG's been able to provide to us.
Moving from what I thought was going to be more of a paper and pencil or a spreadsheet work effort, and getting not just a piece of software and program, but the BlueDAG Way with the team and the program, worlds of difference. I was considering having to bring on additional staff as a resource or contractors as a resource. With the BlueDAG software and team in place, it's actually going to free up resources that I was going to have to apply in that respect. The efficacy and efficiency of the software and the team that BlueDAG has brought, that's making this a hand over fist decision. I can't sing their praises enough.
Well, in the BlueDAG app, to be able to get in there and say, well, shoot, I'm not really sure what it's asking me. I need more information. Walk me through this. Be able to have that tool readily available instead of guessing. It's a step-by-step. It's almost a coach within the app. You know or you don't based off of the information provided in the app.
We had a need not only to comply, but to meet our mission. And there was BlueDAG, not just a piece of software. There's a team, there's a whole resource that is going to assist us in getting to where we need to be.
This provides us a way to look at our future parks and to be able to plan ahead, not be reactive now. We can be proactive.
It's a game changer in a world of difference in how we were handling things and how we are handling it now.